When I was 4 years old, I was playing with my little sister in Chicago. That's where I grew up. We were playing on the second floor, and my father was working on some window, and the window was open. She decided to walk out of the window, walk onto the sill, and I grabbed her and I pulled her back in. Well, as I was pulling her back in, my father came around the corner, saw that situation, grabbed her, put her to safety on the side away from the window, grabbed me and shoved me outside the window and hung me by 1 foot, 15 feet above the concrete. Brought me back in, whooped my ass, all in the nature of learning how to better care for my little sister. Einstein had an amazing question that he said everyone should answer. And that is the universe friendly? When I was 4, it didn't seem very friendly. It certainly didn't seem very friendly. But how you answer that question really kind of tells you where you're at and where you want to go. In fact, 4 wasn't friendly at all, neither was 5. Because when I was 5, I was sleeping in my bed, and I heard wailing and crying going on downstairs, walked downstairs, and I was told that my father was just shot and killed while on a business trip in St. Louis, Missouri. So at the age of 5, I was now fatherless. When I was 11, I was playing with my brother. We were just having fun, just doing boy things. And my mom burst into the room, grabbed me, ripped all my clothes off, dragged me naked through the house, shoved me outside in broad daylight in front of the neighbors, and locked the door. 2 years later, I was sitting in the kitchen. She walked in with a gun to her head, said she was going to kill herself. She didn't pull the trigger that day. And I'm glad she didn't, because I don't know if I could have processed that. My story is not that unique, because 73% of all adults have suffered some sort of trauma. 34 to 38% of all children have suffered some sort of violent or sexual abuse. The abuse I suffered was chronic. It was physical, it was mental, and it was sexual. What does make my story unique is because I have an innate ability to never yield. People call me a resilient optimist. And by the way, you don't always want to be resilient, because that means you're going through shit. You don't always want to be resilient. Oh, he's so resilient, right? You don't always want to be known as resilient. And I do believe in being an optimist, but I don't believe in being a blind optimist. I believe in being an optimist with reality mixed into it. We all know PTSD, post-traumatic stress syndrome. Symptoms include anxiety, flashbacks, nightmares. I had it. Of course I had it. But I don't want to focus on that. I want to focus on this acronym, which is PTG, post-traumatic growth. Post-traumatic growth is the ability to transform trauma and use its adversity to create opportunities and possibilities. Let me repeat that. PTG is the ability to transform trauma and use its adversity to create possibilities and opportunities.